Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We try to do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We try to make something happen in a good way. In any event, we are trying to do what we can where we can in a good manner and hopefully make something good come from that. In any event, we will continue to be as committed, connected as possible to that process. And this is our second in the rejection series. What to do if you're dealing with rejection. Certainly, life, business, relationship coaching, all of the natures of the work that I do can help people deal with rejection. If you are dealing with that, please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter and or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either way, we can make something good happen from that. But second part of our rejection series. So they avoid heavy conversations. The avoidance of heavy conversations is more about trying to make sure that other people are comfortable. So political conversations, religious conversations, conversations about heavy emotions, conversations that take people away from feeling happy or as though the relationship is a release is something that a person may do if they feel like they're going to be rejected. Obviously, a lot of people try to kind of veil what they're feeling emotionally if they feel that they can't be open and honest or as forthright as they'd like to be. And the more a person has dealt with previous rejection, the more it is likely that they would feel the need to do that. The next is they'll avoid the relationship conversations. What are we to each other? Where's this relationship going? Are we exclusive? Are we monogamous? These types of questions. Especially if a person fears that they are more into the relationship than the other person and doesn't want to confront that possibility being true, then they are going to avoid the conversation altogether in a lot of cases. So the fear of rejection can cause a person to put themselves into emotionally difficult places. The desire to impress someone with knowledge or supportiveness or the amount of energy they're willing to put into the relationship can often be super toxic and somewhat unbalanced, meaning that if you're trying to impress a person constantly simply because it's the only way you believe that you can maintain their approval or benefit, then ultimately you're eventually going to burn out with that person pretty quickly. Then there is the tendency to try and overplease the person. This could mean putting oneself in physical, emotional, mental difficulties in gymnastics. If a person only likes certain foods, or if a person only wants to spend time together on certain days, someone will change who they naturally are in order to keep the relationship going. The fear of rejection and the fear of not having access to the other person can make a person behave in manners that are not in the best interest for all involved. Again, obviously being accommodating is important in relationships and certainly something that is worth considering. However, the challenges that are there that come with things can often be super overwhelming and or toxic and or challenging, and many times people don't necessarily think about how they come across or what's happening in that way. It doesn't necessarily mean a person is good or bad for doing things in that manner, but if a person doesn't feel they can be honest, then they're going to be more likely to check out. The next thing there is the over apologizing that happens. If a person feels like they are a burden in any way during a relationship, especially if they haven't formulated a clear bond or clear communication style, and they have been accused of being a burden in previous relationships, the act of over apologizing, especially if they have survived any level of mental or emotional or physical or any other type of abuse in the past, is going to be a clear sign that they fear rejection. And that fear of rejection can motivate a person to get into an unbalanced relationship dynamic wherein that individual is giving more than they're receiving, but they keep hoping falsely that the level the person gives back to them is going to change. Now, the problem with this is that very rarely works, and it doesn't necessarily usually work because why is a person going to give more if they don't know that they need to? Again, a lot of times people assume that we know what they're thinking or how things are going in a meaningful way, and it doesn't always go according to the way that we intend. And so we also assume many times that people see the world the way we do, and when that doesn't happen, hurt feelings are a major challenge there. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.